Okay, so I was going to give you a little bit of an update on the solar panel project. I have taken this cassette deck that was broken, and I just gutted everything out and put 4 sealed lead acid batteries inside. They're 5 amp hours each, so that gives me 20 amp hours, which is okay for right now. This is really just a test setup. I do have spade clips on these, so like I can disconnect the inverter, I can disconnect the batteries, and whatnot. I also have this 12 volt plug right here, so I can plug 12 volt stuff in. I was going to use this momentary switch to just check the voltage, but I haven't gotten a standalone voltmeter yet, so that'll be later. But right now, the solar panels are putting out 2.28 amps, and that's probably because my batteries are almost fully charged, and the inverter is only running at 1.5 amps. So usually once the batteries are fully charged, it'll only float charge at like 0.5 amps or somewhere around there, maybe a little bit less. But I'm using this charge controller as I showed in my last last video that I had on this, and I'm using the diode that came with the kit. It does get pretty hot because really it's only a 5 amp diode, but I'm thinking these panels are probably only going to be putting out 5 amps. So that's and I got a 400 watt inverter like I had in my last video. I can still run compact fluorescence pretty easily with this, and I've got pretty much almost a full load on it to what the solar panels can hold, but I think I could do more. The fan's not kicking on. It was kicking on earlier, but right now I have my power strip here, and I can charge. I got my this goes to my air purifier, and well, I gotta hook up my router. I just keep my router plugged into this right here. If I can get it in. So now my router's running off of it, and my dampers went up a little bit, but not too much. So you kind of get an idea of what I was trying to accomplish here. I got both panels out there right now. That one's the damaged one, and this one is the better one. So it's got one chip right there at the bottom. Can't really see it, but that stand right there is really just a stand that I was using, that I built just temporarily. That little red panel right there is an Amorpheus panel that I got about 3 years ago. Just never used it. It's not hooked up right now. It only charges at 0.05 amps, so I'm not really going to use it. I need to get a piece of plexiglass for this panel. That panel I still need to build a frame and get a piece of plexiglass for it too. And that stand is basically just a cross stand with a screws bolt that I put into it, so I can adjust the angle. But right now the sun's just pretty much overhead. But I'm pretty happy with this system. I haven't really had any problems with it. I mean, my batteries haven't gone completely dead yet. I did pre-charge them before, just halfway, and then I put them in, and I'll just see if I can plug in really as much stuff as I can until I kind of like just about overload this thing. But as you can see, I can plug in that. My amperage went up well, maybe it's not going up, but if I turn this off, it goes down a little bit, but it's still charging the batteries. They're not exactly fully charged, but I'll turn this back on. Yeah, I don't know, maybe they're not charging too much, but their peak amperage should be around 6 amps, but probably around here they're only going to be about 4 or 5. So that's pretty good. I can run a pretty good bit of stuff off of this. I have ran a Sawzall off of this before, but don't really need to. Basically, AC amp wise, we're drawing, without that lamp, we're drawing 0.5 amp AC, and the inverter is drawing, I gotta be careful because my clip ain't working too well. We're drawing 0.38 amps right now, and it's probably went down because I adjusted my air purifier, and also, well, I use it to charge my Palm, and it's got this plug on it, so it's pretty much almost fully charged anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much the system right now. And I put a capacitor there. I thought it might help with the load or the voltage spikes, but it really doesn't seem to do anything. I also have this amplifier that I can plug into it. Well, that's not really an amplifier, it's just a car stereo, but if I can move this over, I can plug it into here, and it's on. And what I can do is I can turn this off and turn my solar panel, or turn my batteries off. This button right here turns off my batteries, so when I turn it off, it does that. But you can still put a load on it, and basically that's running off of it. But once I turn the inverter on, it doesn't want to do a load anymore, and it'll just slowly come back up. But that light just stays on because it's trying to get enough power to do a load, but the capacitor in there's just not big enough. So turn this back on and then turn it back off, then that thing will work. Sometimes it's not really doing it too well right now because I think the panels are just not at the right angle. But usually if you just help it out, just let the batteries help it out and then turn it back off, it should work. This is one that I just got at the scrapyard. It's a real cheap one. Just a little small JVC one, but I don't know if it does audio because I can't get anything to come out of the speakers, so I'll just have to mess around with it and see if I can get it to work. Just got it for like a couple dollars. So yeah, that's my system, and hope you enjoyed it. Sometimes I can keep this unplugged and turn this solar panel off, and I can sometimes keep the inverter running for a second, but apparently it just doesn't want to do that. So there you have it. Router's still turning back on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions or suggestions about this system, that'd be great. This is just a temporary system. I know there's just wires hanging everywhere and not really organized, but it'll get better. And usually when I have to print stuff, I'll just plug this in and I can print stuff. So I'm just trying to save a little bit of power, and you know, once I move out or whatever, then I can take all this with me, and eventually my system will be big enough I'll be off the grid, hopefully. So yeah, thanks for watching.